Yeah.
It is. It's very hot. Very blue. Again.
That was becoming boring for people who don't live in Spain or other Mediterranean countries.
I know. Or even for the people that do live here, because they've got the same. Apologies for that. It's another.
I get bored with that, actually. That's why most people moved here.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, but they have pools.
And sofas. Which, if you haven't seen any of the previous videos, is one of my bugbears. We've lived here 2.5 years and we still do not have a sofa. It is very uncomfortable. I want a sofa. We've got nowhere to put one, that's why we haven't got a sofa. But we haven't got a sofa.
No. We haven't got a pool either.
We have a paddling pool.
Yes, but you can't use it because of little Nasha.
Yeah, that's true.
However, there's a well just there. And I did suggest to Lillian that we just sort of like put some ladders in and she can climb down and float about in the well. There must be about 2,000 litres of water plus in there.
Using it a bit like you see people with these bunkers in their back gardens for World War 27 or the zombie apocalypse. Put steps in it like that.
An isolation pool. I give her a torch and close the lid and just open it up and pass wine down or something.
People pay good money for that. Isolation tanks.
Is there a market for it around here?
Probably. Very probably.
I bet it's cold.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, we did chilled wine and beer in it a couple of years ago, didn't we?
We did.
Anyway, enough rubbish. The floor is done. He didn't leave the country. It was close.
Yes.
And that's pretty much what we've got for you this week. Please enjoy. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Oh, yes.
Bye for now.
Toodly pips.
So I've been out. I had to race off because could hear Puppy crying in his crate because he'd woken up. He'd had a nice long nap. And I've just been shouted up to come and see what somebody's achieved here, which is awesome.
Yeah, just put the board on, it's not fixed down, it's not where it's going to be, it's just a bit of board.
Yeah. Yes, it's out of line, but that's because the whole room is out of kilter.
Yeah, the board actually needs cutting to fit.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
We had a strong suspicion that was going to be the case. But look at that.
Yeah.
Very good, very pleased.
So we've got to have a central run going that way to support the wood midpoint. And then we don't need to backfill with the product we had intended to use. This is going to be perfectly strong enough as it is. So, even more awesome. I'm much taller than Yao. I'm glad this is no longer a door.
Absolutely.
I find more to bang the blooming head on.
Traditional Spanish height door for you in these caves. Dush.
Yes. So, that's it. Calling it. It's
yes, you sweat through, my darling.
Yeah. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's as hot as it's not as hot as it's going to get.
But it's hot enough, and this isn't a race.
No.
What is it you said the other day? Work smart, not hard. It's not worth it.
I'm going to be the tortoise, not the hare.
But we'll get it right.
Oh, yes.
Well, today we've mostly got a helper. Somebody's come to join in the Jenga fun of all these beams. Her nose is very out of joint, but there's a little legs running around when he's awake. He's not awake right now, he's in his crate fast asleep, so she's
snoozing at the moment.
She's snoozing at the moment, but yeah, he's joining us so it's safe. We've been measuring the beams to put across left to right here. Only us, very special needs and all that jazz. When we did the frame around the outside, we carefully measured so that the bolts that we put into the wall would not interfere with anything. And nearly everyone does.
Well, that one does.
That one certainly does. So the beam has to go there, and there's this bolt sticking out. Normally what you would do is probably cut this and then cut a little recess for the head to go into the beam, but we can't because we know how thin this is.
Flimsy.
Flimsy. It's single skin brick wall and hollow bricks. So what we're going to do is we're going to chock it out either side and then joist hang it from that and work it that way.
Yeah, we're bothered about, concerned about the vibrations of cutting it and damaging that.
Yes.
It is only holding it to the wall, and once it's all right, it'll be packed. But I don't want to risk it.
Don't want to risk it.
The way that looks going, quicker than it'll messing it up completely.
This shows you the non-level floor. Look at the gap underneath. Straight piece of wood, one side to the other. There, that's what we're working with. Not only are we not carpenters, we can't draw a straight line with a ruler, but we're constructing this.
Yeah, the top of that beam and the top of that beam, the wall plates are level. So you can see how much higher that's had to be raised compared to that.
Yeah. And look at
It's
that.
even madder gap.
Mad as a box of frogs.
Right, yeah. We've laid it out as we want so far. We've come to this stage. You'll notice that the gaps are the same all the way along until we get here. There's going to be a stud wall built on top, so obviously that needs to be extra. So it is actually over by 10 centimetres, 100 mil, but that doesn't matter because we'll still get the exact spacing correct for the boards when we get a little bit further along, and there will be an extra little bit put in anyway. Because we obviously want load bearing for where the toilet's going to be and everything, belt and braces as we keep saying. Now we've taken a measurement for doing the bathroom and we use this wall as the starting point. So we took the measurement from that wall in this corner. So we took the measurement there and then we duplicated the same measurement on this stud wall, coming to here. And noticed it was not square, it wasn't even remotely square. So much head scratching, worked it all out, set the laser up in that corner, made sure it was exactly square as it needed to be. Shone it across and noticed that the beam actually stopped in the corner because that's how I'd set it up. And noticed that the beam was approximately 3 centimetres away from the wall at that point. So more head scratching and then made the decision, took the measurement with the difference which you can actually see right there. I'll just turn it a little bit so the sun's not too bright on it. So the one on the left is the final measurement and the one on the right is the previous measurement, and now it's square. So from there to there, which is 180 centimetres, just that distance there, that wall is 3 centimetres out. It's incredible, and we already know that this section of the wall is also out, but we had to have a starting point. So there's little gnome thinking, what we're going to do now? Oh my god, it's even more out of square than we originally thought.
All I'm thinking is you've got to lay flooring strips.
Yes.
And they're straight.
And they're straight. Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
But somebody bought a jigsaw for the use thereof.
Absolutely. Well, yet again, I've got off lightly. I've been downstairs probably minding. I've come up to see what Chris has been doing, and he is doing an absolutely awesome job. Those are beautifully tied in. I haven't got words. I'm taken aback. For a man that doesn't know how to work wood, I think he's doing okay.
Some more stuff. Wasn't expecting it until tomorrow. Today's the day of St. Juan. Turns out it's not a proper bank holiday, as we presumed. It's what they call a recuperable holiday, so if you take it, you owe the boss the time back. So we've got some more wood for upstairs. This is a slightly different size, but it's solid wood as opposed to laminated.
It was a third of the price, so we'll deal with it.
At the third of the price, yeah, so we'll deal with that. We'll take that. This metal is for building the stud walls when we get round to it. And 8 sheets of the green plasterboard. That's for doing upstairs bathroom and the downstairs toilet. Bit crazy ordering it now, but we've got it in stock, and it all came on the same delivery charge, so that's good. Right, we're on the final home stretch of doing this framework. There's still noggins to cut, noggins to put in. Boss is having a go at screwing some screws into the joist hangers. We've done one side. I'm going for this side now, and then there's another one to do, which is the last one of the long lengths for outside the bathroom before we discover how to play Tetris with the inside. I'm having a break for 10 minutes. I'm just walking away. That piece there drove me insane. I could not do it. It's done now, but it took flipping 10 times longer than it should have done. I had to do it on my own. I had no help from Lillian because she was busy with Dover. He was crying and he'd just woken up, and he's a little young lad, so he needs to know he's in a safe place. So I'm going to walk away. Everything's nice and solid. This didn't take too long at all. This took 2 times longer than these two, and it was just a nightmare. It really was a nightmare. Making sure it's all squared up and level, and that was really bad. I started to get frustrated, so I'm walking away before I make mistakes. However, I am well happy with how structurally sound this is. It's really, really good. I'm actually walking on it now.
End of the day, look what he's achieved all by himself today. I've been puppy minding.
And brought me a nice cold beer.
I've brought you a nice cold beer and said, actually, enough already. We've just hit 42 degrees down there, and I can see how sweat through you are. Enough already.
Yeah, you haven't thrown water over me this time.
I haven't thrown water all over you. You have achieved so much. It's amazing.
I've just grabbed my old man eyes.
You should be very, very proud. This is awesome.
Thank you. I don't like working with wood.
Oh, I know, but it's good practice. I'm sure I'll find some more projects for you in wood.
This was supposed to be your project.
Isn't it?
But then we got a Dover, and Dover's become your project.
I know, he's kind of adopted me, which is awesome. That's just exactly what we want. But if I leave the room, he starts crying. So we carried these boards up where they were stored downstairs in the living room. That was quite something. They came up this little corridor. From in there downstairs, we had to go that way and up here. That was quite something.
And we had about 4 centimetres of wriggle room, wasn't it? Just to get the angle correct.
Yeah, it was mad.
Like, ooh.
And they're quite heavy.
We did do a bit of damage, look.
Well, I wasn't going to point that out. Oh, you've made more damage.
Well, it was already broken, look, it just lifted straight out.
Okay.
So that's a repair that... Oh, right, it's a list of repairs.
Well, as I was saying, these boards have come up here, and because they were stored on their side downstairs, some are a little bit warped, which isn't a problem because they're now lying flat. In this warmth, they'll be able to just lie flat and be absolutely perfect when it comes time to screw them down. However, we've come to an impasse yet again. The world is against us. We have no electricity. What we need to do now is we've got to cut that board to suit the wall, and then the straight lines will then follow and everything else will stack across. But to do that, we need to use a jigsaw. Got no power, can't use a jigsaw. There's 2 more beams to fit over there. We've got a battery-operated screwdriver, but both those beams need to have like arches cut in them to go over that pipework. Again, need to use a jigsaw. can't use a jigsaw without electricity. It's not one thing, it's another. It's a bit cooler today. It's still not particularly cool up here, but it would have been doable for the small bits that need doing. But until this has been cut to suit the wall, and until that has been done, we can't use the electric screwdrivers to put everything else down. Yeah. Another one of those days.
It is, yeah. It's unusual for us to have power cuts.
It is very unusual, yes. So, another not going to plan day. There you go. It's normal for us. Chris has had to cut these boards to suit the walls because the boards are square, the walls are not. However, this one and that one are down, fixed down, nice and solid, no movement at all. The measurements have gone awry for the bits that go across. What the joists? No, the joists are the long ones.
Oh, the noggins.
The noggins for the size of the boards, just because of having to allow for the wall being out. So this is now having to be fixed. It's getting extra noggins, but it's solid, very, very solid. And also the other nightmare is having to work around that spaghetti. However, it won't beat us with the 18. And Chris should be very, very proud of what he's achieved here.
Yes, thank you. As you can see, just done some quick lines along, so I know where the next noggins have got to go. These are all set, obviously not that on there, but it was set 125 centre, well just over, so the board could go back as far to the wall as it could, and the wall is just miles and miles and miles out. So the priority was to get this piece square and then work from that. And now this piece is square, as you can see, it looks to veer off that way, but it didn't. Each one was right. So, anyway, making up as I go along. Yes?
Works for us.
Yes.
This room is a nightmare. None of the walls are square to each other. None of the walls are actually straight in a straight line, even though they've been plastered.
They're not even straight up and down, because it's wider down here than it is up here. It sort of like goes like that.
Yeah, it does. Don't know whether the camera's picking it up or not. But anyway, nightmare room, nightmare house. Not having fun.
At all.
But you are getting there.
And the greatest of respect to people that can do this for a living and don't think about it and they can just do it. Absolute respect to you, because I can't. Yeah. Right, let's see if this new version of the tracking system works.
Yay!
Awesome. Just a quick test fit to make sure we haven't overcut or we're still undercut. And it's great. Now it's got a notch out for these pipes, so we'll offer that board up now to mark where the pipes are, so we get that right first time. Right, the last big board to go in. We've cut it. Nobody needs to know. I see people cutting pieces of wood all the time. But this just gives you an idea of how high the step up is. Now come here, you're there.
Yeah.
That's the step up difference. Okay, that's 18 no higher because this board's 18 no. So I'm going to glue all this down. We'll give it a test fit to get it into place to make sure we've done it right. We've done it. Well, then we discovered we need to add some more noggins, because it was going like that even though that was a straight line. So, it's what it is. It's what it is. Professionals will, I'm sure, do a much better job. We're not professionals, unless you want to count me as Bodie. That's Doyle.
At this point, we are done, as far as we can be. All the boards are down. although we had the correct square meterage, we work it out on a plan, because of the weird cuts and what have you, the offcuts that we've got are the correct square meterage, but in little narrow strips, so no good for here. We're going to have to get another board, or I don't know, maybe it's the wood yard. I think he had an offcut pile. I'll see what he's got in that, or whatever, I don't know, got to deal with that. At last.
Yes, on the final little trim bit.
At last
Oh,
for
look.
Yorick.
Look.
Look, we have a floor. All the way around. Absolutely awesome.
Here we have the Three Stooges. All as guilty as each other, and the grass has just walked away.
Okay.
The snitch. I give you evidence 1.
Okay.
Evidence 2.
Okay.
And the crime.
Oh my goodness.
Diggy dog. Somebody was very proud of his little self. His very young little self.
Well.
And when the little snitch heard me come out, she came down. Wasn't me. I will sit graciously and say, it wasn't me.
I wasn't there when it didn't happen.
Yes.
Well.
It also proves how thin the cement was, the concrete cement was that was put down.
This is true.
Go on then, see if it worked.
Oh, I'm the guinea pig again.
Squeak, squeak. You are Peruvian. Yes?
Yes.
Awesome. Brilliant.
Call me Olga de Polga.
The what? Back to mama.
Straight your head. There was a kiddies book of Adventures of a Guinea Pig when I was a little girl called Olga de Polga.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
This still needs to be finished. That's wood's all sorted now, and we've put consola there. They said to fill it, and then this is going to have another piece on top. But we needed that secure first because ever-changing plans. This will also be built up. This is solid, so that'll be built up, and then this. The method we did, we couldn't have it low enough, so it was nearly on the ground because it flowed away too much. So it had to be built up. So we've decided to do a thing, haven't we? We're doing a thing. The last panel is going down, and we did screw it down and then realised we'd forgotten to do something, so took it back up again before the glue had set.
And we're leaving a letter to future people.
Yes.
Posting it now.
Just flinging it in.
Ta-da!
And that's it, a little thing. And why not?
Yeah.
And why not? And then at least if in times in the future somebody purchases his property, takes a floor up, they'll know what idiots did it. That's one. And we all know what the rest of the screwing job's all about.